Today I've been doing some testing when it comes towards gold making, and I love the results. Let us begin. Okay, so when it comes towards everything, I have been doing a couple of things when I was looking at loads of other people's different types of channels. This is like 𝐆𝐀𝐿𝐿𝐝, this is 𝐆𝐀𝐿𝐼𝑒's, and even one of Student's videos. Overall, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about refining recently, and I decided to actually give a crack at it. Might give things a fair shout. It's not my forte, I'm more of a farmer. However, I went on and I did a lovely little bit of refining, and we've got a nice little mailbox of 462,805 gold. Now, granted, for this, a lot of it is the straight up investment, and the profit margins are quite razor thin when it comes towards a couple of different things, but we will take a nice little mosey over to it right now. We've sold some weaver cloth tailor's coats, we've got a couple of other things. We even sold a lamented Crusaders helmet once again for 66,499 gold. Yes, oh yes, that is good. And yeah, I think this lamented stuff is still very viable. It's just a little bit boring doing it all the time, but it's going to make a decent amount of gold. The rest of the things is lure drop. Lure drop, turning it from rank 2 to rank 3 using that is 78,000, 130,000, 38,000, 38,000, 38,000, and then another 38,000, bringing it up to 462,805 gold in total. So let's bring all of that gold in, because that is tasty and I like to see gold coming into my bags, doing absolutely anything possible. Now, breaking it onto all of this, we do have another mailbox to open, but we will check that in just a second, because you guys, I posted it on the Discord yesterday, and if we go in towards Discord and just jump up towards announcements, I have placed in the announcements tab all of the refining stuff into there. You can just download the TXT and it will have all of the imports. I categorized it through the most profitable for that day all the way down. So if you want to track how they're actually doing, you can just import them by going to My Tools and going towards Import, and it will import that into My Flips. Go into My Flips and you just type in refine. If you're like me, I have loads of flips, and we can see which ones are actually doing really well, which ones are not. As we can see right now, refining lure drop from rank 2 to 3 gives me 10,000 profit for every 1,000 that I convert into 200 rank 3 lure drop. So that's pretty dang good. I've actually noticed that bismuth is doing really well when it comes towards refining as well as all of that, and thunderous hide is doing very well as well. A lot of these can actually produce a decent amount of gold. I really want to check out bismuth over the next day or so, or the other ones, but lure drop seems to be the most profitable for everything thus far. However, I've done it for all leatherworking, herbalism and mining, so you guys can import those, see if they're worth it for you, and check it out. The only thing I will say is, if you go down to configuration into worth it, use a custom string, but also maybe account for the 5%. So take off 5% of what your price source will be, and then you can equate that for the auction house cut as well. So then you can see a little bit of more of a reflection on what you're actually going to make with all of that. As worth it doesn't initially tell you the auction house rate, you'll have to put that into your custom configuration. Following on to all of that, let's jump over to my next character, because I decided, after doing herbalism, mining and setting up all the refining for everyone in the morning prior to this, I actually jumped on my lovely little level worker 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐺𝐺, and he is lovely and awesome, and we're going over toward the mailbox, let's be honest. And we did the leather one. However, we only did a small batch just to see what the conversion rates were, and then I remembered I could manually insert them regardless. So we do have some rank 3 sunless carapace and thunderous hide that did not sell. So I'll be using that later on today in order to actually get rid of all of that. That does mean we have a nice little spike in profit for the day. I have been a very busy bee, just spending loads of gold and everything. However, this is Wednesday, so that means that all of the weekly quests are up for giving things in, and we can just jump over here. Do not forget to do your knowledge points. I am very much behind in all of this, so over the next few days I've got to catch up. It might be that I'll be spending a ton of gold on doing it, but I really want to get ahead again on all of my profession quests and everything, and knowledge points and all that jazz. That would make sense, and then carry on with my gold making routine, which if we log out we can actually have a nice little mosey over. I'll do a couple of them, and if we go over towards 𝐆𝐻𝐿𝐿, which is my Death Knight, who is also a Draenei. I don't know why a red dragon would take the visage of a Draenei Death Knight, but apparently that is what it is. And there you go, Garnier is up, and pull him up, take him out. Did we get it? Nope. Okay, we will log back out. Now, Ruby Droplet goes for a decent amount of gold. We did this yesterday, however, I want to crack on and all that. So what's the plan now when it comes towards the gold making routine? Well, I showed you the lazy gold making routine, and we had the previous routine just standing straight up and ready to go. So the initial plan now is to actually refine this a little bit better, find all the rares to actually spawn camp, and then all the ones that we're actually going to be doing. So we're going to be spending a ton of gold, don't get me wrong, and then we're going to effectively keep on top of all of our crafting for daily crafts, and also I'm going to keep on top of my additional other things. So to put it specifically, all of the characters that are not doing anything, well, they're going to be given and assigned a spawn camp in order to do. We're going to be doing our daily dungeon with our druid, and we are going to be doing our daily crafting. It's going to be a mixture of all of these because I like farming. However, crafting is doing very well, but we'll be doing more focused crafting. So one massive batch craft for the week will be most likely the thing, and then we'll be most likely doing other different types of crafts such as flipping and all that jazz, because if we go in towards my flips into Worth It, you can see that I have a ton that can actually produce a decent amount of gold, especially when it comes towards like living steel and everything. You can make a decent chunk of gold with all of that. I will have to reconfigure a load of my Worth It, as I mainly go for flat rates of materials because they fluctuate. However, I will probably, with my Worth It TSM string, I will probably add in the accounting for the auction house cut, which isn't too hard. So I will need to account for all of that when it comes towards the auction house fees, not a problem. And then we can do some more setup in order to which dungeons we're going to be farming most specifically. I know Alderman will definitely be one because that's a high ticket area, and if you get one of those items, all you have to do is sell that item. And I've done it quite a few times, so I'm pretty well versed in selling Alderman based transmog, especially on an Argent Dawn EU, because Argent Dawn, it's really easy in order to sell those types of ones on there. I don't know about your servers, please tell me in the comment section down below how transmog is for you, and then we'll probably look into doing more battle pets-esque things because those ones actually work very well as everything else. Other than that, have an awesome rest of your day. That's pretty much everything I have to say. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.